Good morning and welcome back to BowlTV.com for the Stepladder Finals of the 2019 USBC Senior Masters. Our opening match is featuring 2015 champion USBC and PBA Hall of Famer Amleto Monticelli taking on Tom Adcock from Decatur, Illinois. And Amleto has kicked things off with a pin in the gutter, along with that 7-pin on the first shot. The winner of this match will take on number 3 seed Gary Faulkner from Norfolk, Virginia. The number 2 seed Norm Duke looking for redemption after a runner-up finish at this event last year, and our top overall seed from Canton, Georgia, Stony Baker. My name is Aaron Smith, sitting alongside Matt Cannizzaro for what's sure to be an exciting stepladder here on Bowl TV. Good morning, Matt.
Hello, Aaron. Hello, everybody at home. I do appreciate you tuning in, giving us a part of your Sunday morning or afternoon as we wait for the Deadwood. There it is.
All right.
The staff here at Samstown, top notch all week long. A great experience for us, for the bowlers. More than 300 competitors on site this week for the Senior Masters. 300 then became 64, which included our defending champion, Chris Warren. And then we whittled things down in our 3-game total pinfall matches, double elimination match play bracket, until we got down to our final 5 players. Here they are on the show today, battling for $20,000 and a major on the PBA 50 Tour. There's some great storylines this week as well. We'll cover those as things unfold. Our number 5 seed Amleto Monticelli, he and Adcock, as well as our 3 seed Gary Faulkner, advanced to the stepladder through the final shootout round. They were the remaining competitors in the elimination bracket, along with Ron Moore of Las Vegas. 4 players in, only 3 players survived that. Obviously, the low man was out, finishing 6th overall. Adcock, a youngster out here on the PBA 50 Tour, and having a little bit of trouble this week, Aaron. He's having some back trouble, and he was in the ice bath last night and taking some ibuprofen and just hoping things loosen up and allow him to bowl hopefully a few games today and see if he can make a run up the stepladder. Definitely a very talented field standing his way.
For Tom, and we mentioned it for those of you watching last night during our final rounds leading up to finding out our top 5, that Tom was visibly uncomfortable with that back issue, laying on the floor, having a roller, basically just trying to keep everything loose, and definitely feels well enough for hopefully 4 or 5 games today.
Here's Amleto, first shot on lane 22, our featured pair today here at Samstown, all 10 back. And of our 5 competitors in today's stepladder, 4 are headed across town after this for the Suncoast PBA Senior US Open. So a very busy few weeks here for our senior players. Adcock gonna head home. Got a few more weeks or months of work before retirement. But the rest of the guys are gonna go and bowl a bunch more games on some very tough conditions. And no doubt winning $20,000 could make that arm swing a little bit looser. Amleto knows that feeling. He has won this event back in 2015 in Green Bay. He had a very dramatic week that week, but able to defeat Pete Weber twice to win the title, and now looking to become the 8th player to win the Senior Masters 2 times.
Oh, we saw one of those sneak up for Tom Adcock last night during the elimination finale, 4-7-9 split. At that point, it really didn't matter. He was in a great position to advance. This situation a little more dire and gives an extra pin back on count. Amleto's going to jump out to an early lead. We had a question in the chat about bowling balls. I believe for Tom, that's a Triton Elite. And for Amleto, I believe that is a Ludicrous Solid from Radical. Needs a bounce back shot here. Very nice.
So equipment-wise on today's show, we will have a good variety here in our opening match. Little Monticelli, Brunswick guy, so Brunswick Radical and Deviate, and Adcock, Ebonite International. So it's going to be Ebonite, Hammer, Columbia, and Track. And Leto now 3 out of 4 here, with the early advantage as we near the halfway point of our opening match. Again, we'll have a traditional step ladder here. Winner of this match will take on our number 3 seed Gary Faulkner of Norfolk, Virginia. Winner there will advance to meet Norm Duke, last year's runner-up, his 3rd consecutive step ladder here at the Senior Masters, and then the unbeaten Stoney Baker waiting for the winner of that match. Stoney, in this double elimination format, must be defeated twice to be denied the title.
For 4 in a row.
Oh.
Good, clean living right there. For Amleto, tripping the 2 out. Once again, we've seen him attacking this pattern, I guess, more aggressively farther to the left than most of the other players in our stepladder finals, and continuing to do so today.
Amleto known for the big wheel. Tom Adcock a little more end over end, able to play farther right. And, we saw the players throughout match play, at least as they got comfortable, kind of break things down toward the outside part of the lane with some surface, create a little bit of room to the right. And then for Amleto, that certainly helps his case as he's able to move left and boom it off that spot. So he's already starting to look pretty comfortable now, and the players had some practice shots prior to this match, so all 5 players were out there, and all 5 players right-handed. So that should be certainly interesting to see how they handle that transition and how things evolve.
A little light there for Tom. Gonna leave the 2-pin. And at the halfway point, finds himself in a sizable deficit.
In our shootout round yesterday, Adcock was the 2nd high among the 4 players. He had 7-11 in his 3 games. And Leto got off to a slow start. It was in the 190s in game 1, and then as things opened up for him, he was able to finish with 691, and that was 3rd high of the 4 players. Got him the number 5 seed for today's show, and then Gary Faulkner came up big in the final game to outlast Adcock by 8 pins, 719, to claim that number 3 spot.
I mentioned Faulkner shot 268 to go around Tom Adcock, who still bowled well. Shot 241 that last game, but as we mentioned, that 4.79 creeping in there for Tom in that final game that ended up essentially being the difference from Gary being in this opening match against Amleto to Tom having one more game to go here.
Leto looking pretty comfortable here in the opener, and I don't know that we saw this ball from him yesterday, but certainly working well to start today.
6 in a row for the Hall of Famer. In control here. Just a few frames left to go to move on to the next one.
So not much Adcock can do with Leto stringing him, and obviously he'll have to answer, or this will be over a little bit sooner than he had hoped. More trouble with the 3-6-10. And we potentially, Aaron, were a 3-6-10 away from history yesterday here during our match play. Norm Duke started one of his matches with 29 consecutive strikes before the 3-6-10 ended his run, and Tom just about done here.
That's going to drop his max score down to 210. And Leto obviously has an opportunity to still shoot 290 this week, or in this game. So just needs to kind of stay out of his own way, fill some frames, and he's going to be moving on to take on Gary Faulkner. Shout out to Alan Frederick in the chat for the kind words. Alan was in the field this week, made match play. So great bowling to you, Alan. It's fun watching you compete out there.
Looks like past USBC Masters champion Mike Lestowski as well.
And that hit, the upper deck 7,
Yeah.
has been a common theme on 21 and 22 throughout the course of both events. The Super Senior Classic preceding the Senior Masters. Ty Dawson winning that event for the top players age 60 and over. Senior Masters for competitors of 50 and over. No problem on the spare. Just a pair of 7 pins so far for Amleto. And essentially, decent count here will be enough to officially close out this game. I'd say that's enough count. Amleto Monticelli is going to win the opening match here against Tom Adcock. Tom's going to collect a 5th place finish and then make his way back to Decatur, Illinois to retire.
Half of that sounds awesome, actually. Of course, we're sad to see Tom go. He put on a great show this week, some great matches and some great bowling overall. But still a youngster, and sounds like a lot of free time coming up for him, so look forward to seeing him again down the road. And he's had some great success on the big stage, also a champion at the USBC Open Championships, the premier event for all USBC members. That's going on across town at South Point, so a lot of bowling happening in Las Vegas this week. Again, the Senior US Open coming up. Practice sessions actually happening today, so for 4 of our 5 here in the Stepladder, they're going to head straight from here over to Suncoast this evening for their own unofficial practice session, since they're here duking it out for the Senior Masters title.
I believe Norm is the only one duking out this week, Matt, just based off of namesake alone. 188, the final tally for Tom Adcock. As mentioned, a fantastic week here at Sam's Town, Las Vegas. And for Amleto chance to get into the 260s this game. It was one of those things with a few more players on the pair yesterday. Thought might be an advantage for Emleto to be farther left than his opponents once that breakdown started. And after that slow start you mentioned, Matt, that Messenger almost comes across and kicks out the 4. After that 196 start which had a pair of gutters as well, 244 and 251, as he was able to wheel and deal a little bit, but obviously his competitors have struck all week. .258 to 188.
All right, so Emleto one step closer to $20,000 and becoming the 8th player to win the Senior Masters 2 times. Standing in his way, coming up next, Gary Faulkner, who bowled exceptionally well down the stretch in match play yesterday, put up some big numbers, and we're looking forward to seeing what he can do here on Bowl TV. He's got a couple of regional titles, still looking for that big national breakout performance. Could this be it? See all 3 players stepping up for a few practice shots. Norm Duke, the number 2 seed, will be waiting for the winner of this next match. And then Stoney Baker, the 31-time PBA regional champion, will be waiting. Again, he is unbeaten. Must be defeated twice, which has kind of been the trend here at the Senior Masters, Aaron. That number 1 seed having some trouble in recent years, getting it done in one game. And last year it was Norm Duke taken down twice by Chris Warren in our championship match. So we'll see what's in store for us now with Stoney Baker, and I'm sure he'd like to be one and done and get on to the practice session at the Senior US Open, celebrate a little bit. But Norm Duke very motivated as well after last year's oopsie in the 10th frame.
Oopsie.
He had the title not entirely in hand. Chris Warren bowled phenomenally throughout the whole week. And then in those title matches, Norm Duke needed an 8 count to take the title after a strike in the 10th frame, and went 4 through the middle. Cost him the title, and said that's a moment that has haunted him for an entire year here on the Senior Tour. We'll talk more about that as he comes up. But coming up next, Gary Faulkner. The first Gary Faulkner, the original.
OG.
From Virginia. And he'll take on Emleto Monticelli, the Hall of Famer, in just 1 minute. Folks, you are watching continued coverage of the 2019 USBC Senior Masters. We've been here all week long. Well, one of us has. Aaron Smith has been here through 3 days of qualifying, 2 days of bracket play, and now the Stepladder finals. Also shout out to the rest of the crew. Daniel Ferris was here during qualifying, holding things together. Brandon Houghton back at USBC headquarters at the International Bowling Campus in Texas. All those cool things you see coming across your screen, all the graphics and the conversation in the chat, that is courtesy of Brant. But we do appreciate all of you as well for being subscribers here on Bowl TV. We see some familiar names in the chat, so thank you for joining us. I've already mentioned competitor Alan Frederick had a great start to the week. And then our 1983, I believe, Masters champion Mike Lastowski, and everybody else. Definitely say hi. If you have any questions, let us know. Between us and Brant, if we don't know the answer, we'll make up something very believable. And hopefully we'll be able to entertain you for the next little while here as we await the winner of our $20,000 top prize and a major title on the PBA 50 Tour.
All right, folks, Amleto is going to lead off. Gary Faulkner with lane choice. Able to determine who starts the match. If he had a lane he preferred to finish on, he would get that opportunity. Maybe just wasn't ready to go yet. Just wanted to let Amleto go first because he's very kind.
If you start first, you're going to finish last. So, Faulkner giving that opportunity to Amleto. Make him step up and throw the big shots if necessary. Some guys want the ball in that moment, and some guys want to make the other player step up in the most stressful situation possible.
Here's our first look at Gary, who has had himself quite a day yesterday. Had a big set of 795 right here on Bowl TV, over on 19 and 20 in a win over Ryan Schaefer. And he starts off with a strike of his own. I believe Gary and Amleto using the same bowling ball, obviously drilled for each other, or specifically, not actually sharing the same bowling ball, but the same type, same brand.
That certainly would make the story a little more interesting.
It would, wouldn't it? Going a little more direct. But big time results, early statement double.
So I believe that's what Gary threw yesterday in our shootout round, and stuck with it at least for the first game and a half or so, and if not longer. Got off to a hot start, and a rough 10th frame kept it from being a little bit bigger start, but it was enough, of course. He was the high of the four players with 719 to earn the 3 seed for today's stepladder.
Looking to match with the double. Oh. Not slowing down any from his opening round victory against Tom Adcock, 258 to 188. At this point, we've seen so many folks get very comfortable on this 40-foot condition. They know the bowling equipment they want to use. All the other factors. It's a matter of shot making at this point. Second another good shot. And oh.
He tickled it, Aaron Smith.
Oh.
He tickled him over for the 3-bagger. Got that one a little bit right, but able to recover and get just enough of the headpin to knock everybody down. And now we are 5 for 5 here. And match number 2, our 2019 USBC Senior Masters Stepladder.
What do you think about Gary Faulkner's first 3 shots here, Matt? Pulling for his first, essentially, major title.
Well, he's doing exactly what he did all day yesterday, and he's staying very even-keeled and calm here. We didn't see much emotion. Maybe a fist pump at the end of yesterday's shootout round, but very, very calm, very experienced. But I imagine very eager to have that breakout performance. That one looked a little bit left, but able to hold. That was the move yesterday as the match went on. He moved left. We talked about, maybe how much, but able to get the ball down lane a little bit more and some hold on the back. So looks like these players have a little bit of room here in our second match of the day.
Of course, 31 mils and change will Also helped the ball scoot down the lane a little bit. Oh. So a trip 2-7 followed by a trip 4 for the Hall of Famer. I guess cashing in those Hall of Fame discounts right now in the carry department. Shout out to Verdi Crawley joining in the chat. PWBA Tour Star.
All right, we are 8 for 8. And Little was light on this lane last shot, and that one, a no-doubter. Dead flush for the 5-bagger.
We do have to point out that, as you mentioned, 8 for 8 now, 9 for 9. 16 for 16 is the highest start to a match so far. Tony Johnson, Norm Duke both started with the front 8. Obviously, Norm went on to do some other things like strike 29 consecutive times, but looking to keep it even. It's going to have to lay off. And
Wowza. All right. So the first miscue of the match. And lucky to leave just the 6 and the 10. Just got a handful of that one, it looked like, Aaron.
I wouldn't know, Matt. I've never actually gotten a handful of a bowling ball before. Hence my low rev rate and no messengers. No problem on the spare. Just want to give a quick shout out as we hit the halfway point of this match to Samstown and Boyd Gaming for all the work they do for the great sport of bowling. We have Mike Coffin, Mike Connors, and Tom Pippinger all here this week in support, and just humongous thank you to their entire staffs for helping us put together a great event here for a great event in the Senior Masters.
Yeah, I do second that, and it's been a great run. We had the Super Senior Classic here last week. Now the Senior Masters. We had both events here last year, and the World Cup here as well. So Samstown, a great supporter of competitive bowling, and everything kind of like clockwork. We know where to go when we come in. Everything's set, ready to go, and as you said, everybody incredibly supportive and helpful, and we definitely appreciate it. All right, back half of our second match now underway. Amleto 5 strikes in 5 frames. And Faulkner is 5 out of 6. Amleto trying to stay perfect, and he slaps the 10, 6 for 6.
The big thing we've seen throughout the course of several matches here is that when Amleto misses and doesn't strike, it's because it's left and it's not pretty. But when he's executing the way he is right now, his carry percentage is through the roof.
Again, we saw he's got a little bit of room. He leaked one right, and it made it back, and got one right early. And it checked up, but able to trip everything.
Yeah, just talked about his amazing carry percentage, and then he doesn't carry. Come on, Aaron.
Way to go. And I was ready. I was waiting. I was winding up my Emil Williams to throw a bang out there. But they'll have to wait another minute. But Amleto holding a slim lead here. Both gentlemen can max in the 270s. So Amleto, the 1 pin advantage. And
Eek.
with that, yikes.
Eek. Eek.
We saw some mistakes like that be the difference in a few matches this week. And the opposite, Norm Duke yesterday started his first match of the day. I would say potentially the most pivotal match for him to come out strong. Had 8 or 9 spares in a row, and capitalized at that point. His opponent, Mark Missoula, struggled with the spares, and Norm kept it clean. And then once he got comfortable, able to strike and pull ahead and win that match. And of course, you know the rest of the story.
That's true, and that's essentially going to kind of help Amleto out here. Obviously, any shot where Gary doesn't strike does help Amleto, but looking at max scores now, 258. The best Gary can get to Amleto, even with a miscue, still has 267 out there.
I'll say that was a big opportunity for a double to pull ahead in the 9-pin on Cooperative. Gary on the spare, and you can't throw it too much better. Doing everything he needs to do. Pretty big situation for him. Amleto's been there many, many times. Hall of Famer, dozens of titles, won this event. With the strike here, he'll be down by 9.
Potentially his best shot of the match right there.
All right, so Gary can max at 258. Amleto can put the pressure on here. He can get to 267. Again, Gary will finish first. And then Amleto will have to step up in the 10th, potentially get the job done. Certainly, probably by design.
Amleto taking a re-rack. A few more seconds to focus before. This big bounce back shot, 8th frame. Oh. Just so fluid and effortless.
We mentioned in our bracket yesterday, Ron Moore, the low man out of that shootout round, 594. He finishes 6th overall. And just a shout out to Tony Johnson and Lenny Boris, lost the match before that, bowled very well all week long and put on a great show.
That one gets out there. Oh, picks up a touch early. Almost could have been a lot of things, but
All right, but
what
with
it
the
is,
double,
what it is a situation where he can't be shut out.
that's it. Faulkner can step up, throw all 4 for 258. And Amleto will need to step up in the 10th and double, but that's a few shots away. Gary needing to do what he needs to do first.
Gary unable to get the 4-pin out there. And it's quickly gone from keeping the pressure on to needing a whole bunch of help. His max score now down to 258, or it's 38, excuse me. It was 258. Now 238.
The difference in this match, a couple shots for Gary that could have gone but didn't. And a few for Amleto that maybe shouldn't have gone but did, and that's bowling, folks. Take the breaks when you can get them, and no doubt they're probably going to even out over the long period.
So the main situation right now, Gary needs to strike out to force Amleto to mark. And that's going to take the mark out of play. That had been his good lane so far, had not missed on 21. Now just a couple pins for Amleto. Good count on his first shot will seal the deal. Amleto was eager to get up there and get that count. Our tournament director, Damon Soraka's like, hey, what are you doing, guy?
Yeah, sometimes save a few minutes on TV, but this is Bowl TV. We want you to hang out longer. We want to spend more time with you. We want to let Gary Faulkner have his moment here. Great finish here at the 2019 USBC Senior Masters. 4th place. Certainly something to be proud of and potentially build on. A little confidence boost too, heading into the Senior US Open. Amleto going to finish this one out. Gary finishes with 223.
Gotta be curious to see, based off of those last two shots from Gary, which off his hand looked pretty good. Obviously, without asking Gary what he thought of them, we wouldn't know for sure. But I'm curious if there's going to be a little push spot down there for the guys playing a little more direct now on 21. Obviously, 22 we've been seeing some higher hits, courtesy from Gary that game. But we do expect Norman Stoney to, at least from what we've seen throughout the course of match play, have been historically playing farther to the right, but anything can happen. I'm sure they're going to assess the situation.
Well, we have an opportunity here now for a fill ball and a ball change. Amleto going to something looks shiny, if not pearl. Again, just probably get an idea. Of course, why not? The match is done. But it's going to be time soon. I think got away with a few here in this game. And great shot there for the ring 10.
245, 223. Amleto Monticelli eliminates Gary Faulkner to set up a match of Hall of Famers. Oh, this is why you get Bowl TV, folks. Matches like this. Norm Duke taking on Amleto in the semifinal coming up next. But Matt, absolutely a great week for Gary Faulkner. He just gave a nice wave to the crowd. He's just bowled excellently here this week. It's been awesome to watch. So excited to see how Gary does later in the week. And we wish him luck. But right now, semifinal match coming up next. Norm Duke and Amleto Monticelli. Let's get it.
We have a nice crowd on hand here today at Samstown Aaron Smith. They got the bleachers moved all around and added some actually. Nice to see the supporters come out to watch some of the game's best. Coming up next, it will be, as you said, the Hall of Fame match, Duke and Monticelli. And the winner will advance to take on our top seed, Stony Baker, who is undefeated and must be beaten twice to be denied this Senior Masters title.
Matt, last time we were here for this, I recall the music selection and us having some arguments, but so far it's been it hasn't been as crazy with the music, mostly because they haven't been playing your 1980s wheelhouse collection. So some Elvis regaling the crowd right now. So we learn more about Hunka Hunka Burnin' Love and what's going on 21 and 22 here, as we're just a few shots away from the semifinal match. Norm Duke and Leto Monticelli. It's tough to argue a better matchup you could think in at any point, let alone in a stepladder final and the semifinal to advance to the title match.
I think since some of these guys started turning 50, we've had some pretty ridiculous stepladders. They've been awesome to watch. Voss, Duke, Walter Ray Williams Jr., Monticelli, Pete Weber. Certainly it'll be hard to top some of the excitement we've seen in recent years. Pete Weber over Paul McCordick, Chris Warren over Norm Duke. Just the drama that unfolded in the final frames. And we will have a full recap for you later today on bowl.com. Don't forget to check that out. And of course, all the news, notes, and highlights on our official USBC social media channels. The Sport of Bowling USBC on Facebook, at USBC on Twitter, and of course, find us on Instagram as well. A lot of cool stuff. And here we go. Norm Duke is going to start this match. Norm Duke, as the higher seed, gets to choose, and he's choosing to be the one to step up in the final frame if necessary.
And he's good. And he's kind of getting to the kind of the shape there that Amleto's playing. So we've seen, we actually saw that during his block on the fresh. He caught 21 and 22 in game 5, and he ended up making a zone change to the left that resulted in him throwing about the back 7 or 8 to save what was a somewhat rough start. So we'll see if that history on this pair comes back around. He did lose to Stony Baker on this pair to determine the #1 overall seed. I believe that score was 717 to 672. I'm going to double check because that's the right thing to do.
And while you do, Leto sticking with that ball change from the fill ball last game. Going with the pearl cover, it looks like. Just a little bit longer down the lane. And the first shot looked a little more direct than he had been.
Well, I left that 10 pin on 22, so that was an indicator, especially if you liked how he threw it, but he just tossed a piece of tape in there, so. And wow, that one certainly kicked off the spot. Nearly a 7-9. So that looked like a switch to the radical squatch. Looks like Norm is using the Storm Supersonic, at least from that first shot.
All right, very motivated Norm Duke, 2 for 2. And, talking to him last year and yesterday, very emotional over letting this one get away and what it's meant to him and the mental challenges. And shockingly, as we talked about, almost like living 2 different lives, the PBA Tour life and the PBA 50. Obviously, he's had some great success on the PBA Tour this year with a couple of titles against the youngins, but certainly plagued by what happened in our stepladder last year, the 4 count to lose the title at the Senior Masters and unable to win. He's been in 3 events so far prior to this year in the Senior Tour and made the stepladder in all of them, but unable to come away with the title.
And like Amleto for his shot on 21. Tape, or the feel, not quite right, so. We've seen that over the course of his career. Norm definitely does not mind changing tape out mid-match. Comes in light, leaves the 2.
Question in the chat about a 300 bonus at the Senior Masters, and there is actually a 300 bonus. It is endless admiration from myself and Aaron Smith, as well as a hearty handshake, perhaps a high five or 2. And of course, potentially advancing to the next match or winning the title. But we will not see a perfect game here in our semifinal. Norm Duke 2 out of 3, and Amleto 50-50 so far. So
it's a good restaurant here in Vegas.
I suppose if you enjoy delicious food and libations, if you're that kind of person.
And oh, that ball is not afraid to make a move off the spot, to put it kindly.
All right, well, I mean, that's the characteristics of going to a pro. You get down the lane a little bit, but certainly going to be more responsive. Again, this is all a game of a guessing game, really. Making the right choice, and had a great look with the other ball, with maybe going away a little bit, and pick your tool and be confident. So far, got ourselves a close one through 3 frames.
Got all that one at the bottom of the swing, and now holds a 1-pin advantage here in the early going of the semifinal.
These guys have certainly seen it all in multiple eras of our game over nearly 4 decades in our sport.
All right, two great shots there from Mr. Norm Duke.
Makes it look so effortless. He is certainly, once he gets going, he's quite the entertainer as well.
Absolutely. Amuleto, the subtle fist bump there.
So Amuleto up by 1 pin halfway through our semifinal here at the 2019 USBC Senior Masters. If you're just joining us, welcome. You're just in time. Two great Hall of Famers battling it out here on lane 21 and 22 at Semifinal Bowling Center in Las Vegas. My name is Matt Canizaro alongside Aaron Smith. And waiting for his opportunity, Stony Baker, our top seed.
Looks like another good one. Wow, I'm not good at calling these today. That thing took off.
Got it there early. Checked up. Fortunate again to lead just the 6 pin. Could have been far, far worse.
All right, no problem there. He missed a 10 pin in his victory over Gary Faulkner.
Fortunately, it did not cost him. He won that match 245, 223, and won the opener against Tom Adcock 258 to 188.
Norm can take the advantage here, and light 7.
So Amuleto still holding on to that 1 pin lead with a spare here from Duke. He's been fiddling with that tape through the entire first half of this game, getting the feel right. Getting a lot of bowling for these gentlemen over the past few weeks. Senior Tour kicked off in late April. It's been pretty much non-stop action for them, coast to coast. From Florida to New Jersey to California and now Las Vegas.
All right, it's pretty much what I feel would expect in a match of two players of this incredible caliber. Just 1 pin separating them. This Duke will step at first, 7th frame.
Trouble. Trouble for Duke. 210 light hit. Again, this is his 3rd consecutive stepladder appearance at the Senior Masters. Finishes up 4th and 2nd the last 2 years.
A little too direct on the 2. His first open. Chance for Amuleto to put his foot on the gas here. Can expand the lead to 14 with the striking.
Did the last shot early to that spot down the lane, and fortunate to leave just the 6 pin.
There's the 14 pin lead, can push it to 24 with the double in the 8th.
Norm working on a couple different balls there.
Uh-oh. That's way out there, and if there's any redeeming factor, he doesn't lose any count. Working on the strike. Wow. Did that twice on 19 and 20 last night.
Duke was getting ready to go up and take his turn, and he sat down quick after that and started looking at the scoreboard and seeing where we're at. That'll take your breath away for a minute, regardless of which player you are in that case. Got that one about 7 boards left of the first one just to be safe, and it held, and he is 3 for 3 here on Bull TV for that spare conversion.
The good old gutter spare. And as we mentioned, unlike last night, that cost him a ton of pins in count in that first game. He shot a clean 194, 96.
Just like a 9 spare.
But here, exactly. 10-pin conversion, doesn't lose any count. Maintains the 14-pin lead. Duke can cut into it, though, with a double. Oh. Chance to make it 4 pins with a strike in the 9th after the trip 4.
So Duke will have to finish on that lane. So thinking through that shot for a minute, taking a breather. No shot clock here on Bull TV. But I'm gonna think about what just happened there. File it. Focus on making a good shot here on lane 21. Take a re-rack.
Of course, the 210 last time up on this line.
Or we can get to 235. And Leto at 239. Norm can put the pressure on, and he'll have to step up and close this one out.
That ball looked like it was going to labor for a second as well, but enough to get up the hill. Big double, 4 pins, but Amleto Monticelli can step up here, throw the strike in the 9th, throw a double in the 10th to put himself in position to shut out and continue his climb up the ladder. All right, there's one. A double and 7 pins. Would be enough to get to 236. Anything less, Norm Duke have the chance to perform in the 10th to move back to the championship match here at the Senior Masters. How about that? How about that, folks?
2 big shots there from Amleto. One more and good count. He is moving on. He won this event back in 2015 with the number 3 seed. And the stepladder was stacked that year in Green Bay. Number 5 seed Walter A. Williams Jr., number 4 Rick Steelsmith, and Little Monticelli was 3. Brian Voss, number 2, and Pete Weber was your top qualifier there. Monticelli defeated him twice to win the title, and now he is a couple of great shots away from having that opportunity once again.
Wow. Moments like that don't give you chills. I don't know why you're watching. Now just 7 pins to advance. I hate to say it because it just happened 3 shots ago on this lane. Not a gimme for sure, but
Feel pretty good. This one is
I do feel, yes,
not going to be
not missing right.
exactly.
Seven to advance to the title match. 10 is a winner. And Leto Monticelli is ascended to the stepladder. And now will face Stony Baker. Once again, will have to win 2 matches to claim his second USBC Senior Masters title.
I think that gutter ball is just for dramatic effect, just to keep it interesting, get your money's worth of your subscription.
Norm Duke, unfortunately, his stepladder finals toils, if you will, in the PBA 50 circuit will continue here, but put on a show for us this week. We are very grateful to be able to watch that. Of course, 29 strikes in a row in his winner's bracket match against Tony Johnson, and now has a second, third, and fourth place finish here at the Senior Masters, so he's running out of spots to get in the top 5. Going to finish with 222. So Stony Baker, 4 shots on each lane before it's time.
Some big scores from Monticelli here in 3 wins in today's stepladder. Defeated number 4 seed Tom Adcock, 258, 188. Went on to take down Gary Faulkner, 245, 223, and then stepping up in the 10th frame against Norm Duke, 239, 222. Not rattled by throwing one in the ditch in the 8th frame. Finished strong. Norm Duke again finishes 3rd. Was a runner-up last year, 4th place the year before. Now Stony Baker, there he is, 31-time PBA Regional Champion, reigning Senior Player of the Year in the PBA South region. Outdistancing Walter Ray Williams Jr. for that honor. Recently picked up his 31st title in his own bowling center, I believe, taking down Walter Ray.
How about that?
So he talked yesterday about how much he admired these guys, and the tour life wasn't for him back in the day, the 1980s, and he went a different direction. But he said Norm Duke is his idol, and he really looks up to these top competitors and all they've accomplished over the years, and the opportunity to compete with them and against them, certainly an honor. And when you can beat somebody you really look up to, that's a pretty awesome experience. So he's hoping to, I'm sure, make this one happen pretty quick. He's undefeated, so Monticelli would have to beat him twice to take home his second Senior Masters title. But I'm sure Stoney wants this one to be one and done, and he can move on to the celebration and the practice session at the U.S. Open. But right now, Monticelli red hot.
And for Stoney, if things continue the way they have for Amleto, we'll have to find a way to basically shoot 250 if he wants to end this in one. And Leto 742 in his first 3 games here on 21 and 22. It's a 247.33 and then more threes for his average so far.
Well, Stoney saved his big matches for the end yesterday. He started one match against Ron Moore, 300, 289.
That's almost the maximum amount.
And not the highest 2 games of the day, as Norm Duke had 300, 300 to start a match. But Baker at that point said a ball change was coming, but he had enough. It wasn't very necessary at that point, so just finished out that match. And then he came into the match to determine the 1 seed against Norm Duke, fired 290 in game number 2, and that was enough to get out in front and hold off Norm Duke to earn the top seed here. Stoney's been watching. He's been throwing a few practice shots, but we know he is very much capable of throwing the big games that are necessary. And Leto, of course, very comfortable so far today. Worked through some transition and a ball change, and came up as the victor in our last match against Norm Duke. So should be a good one for sure. If you're just tuning in, thanks for joining us. And if you would love to tell all your friends, join in now. It's going to be a great match for the title and $20,000 top prize here at the 2019 USBC Senior Masters.
There's another shot or 2 to go here for Stoney before we start up here.
Got some superstars in the house today. Taking in the action, Tom Carter, Michael Haugen, Benny Hafes. In the first couple of practice sessions wrapping up over at the Suncoast PBA Senior US Open. So some of those guys making it over here to watch their friends bowl in our stepladder. And Benny, so well received here at Samstown. They're playing him his own song.
Well played. Damon Sirocco giving the fans the rundown here. The final few moments before we start. Looks like Stoney's going to be playing him a little more direct. Probably just a little less on the rev rate than our other 4 competitors here.
Joan Taylor sighting in the chat. Always nice to see Joan checking in. Joan T, as she signs all of her emails. So she likes watching these youngsters out here. Maybe 2, but hopefully just 1 if you're Stoney Baker.
Stoney is going to kick things off for us on the left lane. Title match time. USBC Senior Masters 2019. Big thank you to our gold industry partners, Brunswick, Columbia 300, Ebonite, Hammer, Kegel, Rotogrip, and Storm. Looks like the same ball choice for Stoney as we saw for Norm Duke. The Storm Supersonic, and it net Stoney a early strike.
All right, Stoney Baker's best finish on the PBA 50 Tour, he said, and we agree, 4th place. Now already has improved on that. Looking for his breakout performance here on the PBA 50 Tour. Just a part-timer. Stays busy running Cherokee Lanes in Canton, Georgia. And just looking through their social media and their website, looks like there's a lot going on there, a lot to be proud of and very busy with. And he's okay being the businessman and bowling when he can. And now spending a couple weeks out here in Las Vegas, certainly $20,000 might that feel like an even better decision. But Leto not going to go away easily.
Not at all. Early double. Statement double here. Just letting them know. Okay, I'm not here to mess around.
So when he first made that ball change, it was kind of hit or miss there. It was just getting comfortable, and now those last couple looking really, really good.
And always a great lesson if for all you folks watching at home, if it doesn't, something doesn't seem right, don't try and force it. Reset, start over. Make the best shot you can. That one looked like it got a little bit farther right, but a little extra teeth on that one. Helped it start to make its way towards the 1-3 and mix him up. We are even through 2.
You want to learn more about Stoney Baker? Check out yesterday's recap on bowl.com. Of course, Leto's been around for a minute. You know plenty about him.
After the reset, unfazed.
So something's got Stoney's attention after each of those 2 shots, and Damon's going to ask him what's going on. But very professional to be able to step off and reset and go up and deliver 2 terrific shots.
Yeah, looked like he dropped a little joke at the end of that, so I'm sure some initial nerves here. Looks like our photographer is moving a little bit too much there, so.
Oh.
And, oh.
It was there. It was there for a minute. But certainly not any better now. The 5 goes, the 7 and 10 remain. Trouble for Montelli. And Aaron, I can tell you, being that guy down the lane with the camera, it is not the most fun thing I've ever done in my life. And certainly a great responsibility. And these guys able to put that out of their minds, and just an unfortunate break there for Leto. 7-10. He'll be quick. Step back up on lane 21. recovery shot here.
That one's going to have to motor, and does. Yeah, that light 710 hit has been a popular one this week, even costing Tom Adcock a 300 throughout the course of match play yesterday.
Baker looking for a 4, and that one.
Oh.
Oh my.
Oh.
Oh my. Take the break and run. Square and the head pin. It all look the same on the scoreboard. 4 for 4. Take the break. Gonna take a re-rack and a deep breath. Stoney has the advantage here as the undefeated #1 seed. He would have to be beaten twice. But now the difference in this match, the 7-10 in the third frame from Amleto. Baker perfect through 4, looking to end this one quickly.
The last #1 seed to win the Senior Masters, Walter Ray Williams Jr. in 2017. Stoney now 5 for 5. All right, splits the 8-9. When you do that, you don't have to worry about 7-10s.
All right, so halfway through, Baker 5 for 5. And Little working on a double.
And that light hit registers in a strike. Still down 34 though. As Baker looks to step up in. Frame number 6. Terry Mercer joining in the chat. Says he bowls at Stoney's place in Canton, Georgia.
I bowled there as well. Stoney must practice there a lot. Those great shots. I believe I watched John Gaines win a PBA regional title there. He's a USBC Hall of Famer. Talked to him yesterday, as a matter of fact. Stoney going to take another re-rack. And another deep breath, I'm sure. Reset, 6 for 6. He has the advantage. We've seen Monticelli throw some big shots today when he needed them. Some big games, and as you mentioned, Stoney kind of knew he was going to need 240 or so, or better, based on the look Amleto's had all morning.
Takes the extra time. And oh, 7 for 7. Folks, we did look into the question. There is not going to be a bonus for a 300 that we have been discussed. So just a hearty handshake from Matt Canizar right now.
That's it. And
Up for grabs.
an endless admiration. I think that that's priceless. One more for Amleto. We've got ourselves a great match here.
I think at this point, you know, Amleto knows that there's really no room for error if, at this point, spares out for Stoney, gets him into the 250s. Any miss from Amleto, he's automatically in the 240s and would need an open. Keeping them honest, though. 5 in a row after the 7-10.
So this easily could be 15 for 15 from these two guys. Amleto, a terrible break on the light hit in the third frame. That is the difference in this match. He still can get to 266. But Baker, perfect through 7.
And all right.
The high hit, the 10 pin won't go. And now, if there weren't nerves before or pressure, let's go. Baker will finish the 8th here, bowl the 9th. Amleto, assuming that Stoney makes this spare, will be able to put some serious pressure on.
All right. Max scores for our competitors at the moment. Stoney Baker, 279. Amleto Monticelli, 266. 13 pins. Separating with the 9th and 10th to go. Holy cow.
So it's like a 2-frame roll-off at this point. Big shot here. Oh, right. That's trouble.
He's going to have to hustle. My goodness, wash out.
Wash out and loses the count there. Tough spare. A spare here would mean he can't be shut out. He's got to have this one, Aaron.
Goes for it, just gets the 1. Drops his max down to 254. Amleto can shut out going strike 9 spare.
This match turned quickly. Granted, a lot of strikes on the board. Amleto unfazed by that 7-10. Bounces back with 5 in a row, looking to close it out here.
Just so fun to watch the best compete at such an incredible level with such incredible stakes at the moment. So needs the first strike in the 10th. Any 9 count and spare would be enough to win by 1 and force an additional match. No doubter.
All right, so this one going to go another game.
By the way, he has improved upon his 247 average for the stepladder.
Folks, don't forget, Stony Baker not out of this.
At least 9 for a chance to shut out. All right, needs a spare.
Our spare here would give Amleto 255. The best Stony Baker can do is 254, but as the undefeated top seed, Baker would have to be beaten 2 times. Amleto has been there before. He did it to Pete Weber in 2015 to win this title. We saw it happen last year right here at Samstown as well. Chris Warren over Norm Duke.
No.
Hang on.
Oh, heart be still.
Again, Amleto with the theatrics. Heartbeats, heart stopping in the audience.
Now, Matt, correct me if I'm wrong. In 2015, Amleto had to refocus because he thought, was he the one who thought it wasn't the double elimination? I feel there is a champion in the recent years.
Totally possible. Sometimes between the Masters and the Senior Masters, just based on the TV format. Because we're here on Bull TV, it's the true double elimination.
That was a ball change there from Stoney. So 255. And I definitely don't blame Stony Baker for going for the washout. You have to go for it in that situation, but obviously I sure would mind that extra pin account at the moment.
So Baker will be in the 240s and we'll have a very quick turnaround to mentally reset here and have another chance. So we really haven't talked to any of our number 1 seeds, and after falling short in the first match, how do you get your head right and win the second? Because it seems to always go the other way.
The last one I remember was, I believe that was Weber in 16.
We've been Weber right here, and that was an unfortunate final shot from Paul McCordick. That would have been the difference there, and Weber able to win it on the bench.
All right, it looks, after all this drama and excitement, the Lane 22 has decided to act up on us. And you can see the curtain is actually down a little bit there. I think we have legs.
Legs, yeah.
All right, so I think maybe the ball's stuck back there, trying to clear some things out. All right. Looks like they're...
The good news is, Aaron, we have 27 breakdown pairs.
This is true. However, I feel that would be potentially not advantageous for live streaming, but we would find a way to do it. We somehow partially got a match on 33 and 34 between the pillars and being not close to that whatsoever, so maybe this is a good thing for Stoney. Bold great, cashed in his one break in the fourth frame and just let one shot get away here.
And now we have to start a new piece of paper as well for the next half of this championship match.
I'm going to use the same sheet, just the other side. Stoney, no reason to go for the spare there. I get some more information. Going to finish 243, but 255 the number. Well, that was pretty to the point from Damon Sirocco, our tournament director. It's now the official final.
That was just the practice final. This is the real thing. One game for the title.
Stoney has elected to have Emleto Botticelli start the match.
Oh. Switching it up here.
Get a few more minutes of refocusing for Stoney Baker. Now Emleto will start. Emleto will start first and finish last.
Oh.
Payback right there on the 7 and the 10. The double messenger clears the deck for the Hall of Famer. So Emleto so far today has survived a gutter ball and a 7-10 split. And now he's bowling for the title again.
Baby split here in frame number 1. For Stoney Baker. That is a professional spare attempt right there. That is what you like to see. The utmost confidence. Perfect execution of the split. So sticking with the same ball, and uh-oh.
Back-to-back shots on that left lane. Trouble for Stoney Baker. The washout. The 9th frame of last game, and now 2-4-10. Certainly, you do not want to fall behind, especially somebody of the caliber of Emleto Botticelli.
Going to take the 2, and now an opportunity for Emleto to be the aggressor in this match after finding himself down most of the first match. Wrap 10 for Emleto. So again, his carry percentage has been pretty fantastic in the few matches we've seen him here between 19 and 20, as well as 21 and 22, and even throughout the course of the Stepladder finals, averaging now 249.25 for 4 games. Chance to go up 14 here with a strike in the early going. The official final match of the 2019 USBC Senior Masters, taking place at Sam's Town in Las Vegas, Nevada. My name is Aaron Smith, sitting alongside Matt Cannizzaro.
Aaron Monticelli struck 4 out of 5 times at least in each game so far today. Able to build leads. And he's on his way again here. He leads by 14 here early in our final, the 2019 USBC Senior Masters. Stony Baker, the top seed coming in, undefeated. Needed to be beaten twice. And Leto got him once so far, 255, 243. Now this is for it all, $20,000 and the sweet Senior Masters trophy. And Baker high, all 3 shots. I'm sorry, both shots on the right lane, and then the 2-4-10 on the left lane. So this pair looking a little tricky for Mr. Baker.
It seems like it's been the 2 shots on 22 have gotten left very quick off his hand. And we've seen folks be able to find a little bit of hold playing direct, but not that much hold. So we saw Stoney try that other ball and looked like he kind of moved just a tad to the left. It looks like he might be making the switch here. It's a ball change and a move. Oh.
There you go, big move and big results for Stony Baker. First strike here in the second half of our championship match.
Making Del Ballard Jr. proud over there. To push the lead to 24. Oh. And we've seen that creep up here and there for Amleto. Does not leave anything on the left side with it. But with that steep angle, I left it for 3-6-10. elects to hook at it and allows everyone in the building to take a collective will it or won't it hook in. Sam Leto, it always hooks, come on.
And Leto just every once in a while checking to see if everybody's awake and paying attention. And he holds the advantage here. Baker staying with the ball change, looking to double up, and he does. 5 goes late. Energy back up in the room, and Stoney looking confident once again.
And if he's able to make it 3 in a row, this is a 1-pin match. Heading into the back half of the final game of the 2019 Senior Masters.
All the fans definitely getting their money's worth here. Appreciate everybody tuning in online. John Congro, appreciate the kind words. Nice to see you as well. Great polling. That one not off the hand how he'd hoped. You see that? Kind of spun it a little bit, got down the lane and just never made the move left. And now trouble once again for Baker. His misses have been bad news. That easily could have just been a 2. Gave it a run, but unable to convert. So Leto, ability to extend his lead here, and we are now running out of frames for Stony Baker.
That was the second 210 combo on lane 21. Another chance for Amleto to increase his lead. That's what Hall of Famers do in that situation.
So Amleto seems to throw it better in those moments. Sees the opportunity, aggressively takes it.
That definitely has been his theme today. Stayed aggressive, made the right ball changes, shook off some bad shots along the way, and struck a ton.
Amleto in his 4 games so far, 8 strikes, 8 strikes, 9 strikes, 9 strikes.
Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. Wow.
That was exactly as you described it last time on that lane, the 3-6-10, and with his angle, often leaving something on the left side as well. The 7 was the last to go.
So with the spare, it would be a 25-pin lead. That one got a little bit farther out there, but once again, do not question the hand of Amleto Monticelli.
So 25 pins the difference here. 7th frame for Stony Baker. Luck in the right lane.
And I think it's what you said, Matt. He just needs to make a better shot here on 21. This time that would cut into the deficit, make it 15 pins with the double.
No doubt 3 times on this left lane. Ball not making it back. So just give it a little extra something at the bottom.
Oh,
And that one barely made it back, but tickles him down again for the double.
Important to note that he will be finishing on lane 21.
So that one looked, again, a little extra hit at the bottom, a little bit slower speed. But you're right, something to think about now. He's staring at it. He will be finishing on lane 21. And the question is, will he have a chance at that point? It's kind of up to Amleto. Gets the 10 out. Amleto max score at 237. Stony Baker, best he can do is 222. Amleto's going to take a re-rack after back-to-back 3-6-10s. So Aaron Amleto going high twice in a row on this lane. And Stoney having trouble getting the ball to make the move. Stoney's going a little bit smoother surface, so less responsive down the lane. But two drastically different reactions.
And you could see it there. He moved left, got steeper through the front part of the lane, and that ball will, as we've seen, not afraid to make a move left at the end of the pattern, and took it to, as you mentioned, stayed aggressive. Said, I know it's going to hook. And then the great reaction afterwards, but Stoney can continue to keep the pressure on here.
All right, Stoney's good lane. Has dropped the last two times. Make that three. That one, holy moly, that was
fantastic.
jam-packed. But we kind of knew that was probably going to happen. And it's the left lane. 10th frame coming up. 222 is the best he can do. So Aaron, of course, is going to get the math going here. Amleto with the advantage.
So if
15 pins.
If Stoney is able to double here in the 10th, it would force Amleto to get the first strike. Looks like a wow.
So he moved left and the ball still
went through the break point. 2-pin.
So some folks already running for it. They see the writing on the scoreboard.
9 would get Amleto to 204. Best Stoney can do is 201. So good count at the moment.
Oh, what a great week for Stoney. A few huge matches, big shots when he needed them. And defeated by lane 21 today. At least in this second match, and once again a 2-pin.
Going to finish with 200 even. So far, Amleto needs 8 to secure his second USBC Senior Masters title. Become the 8th player to claim the title multiple times. For the win and to run the ladder, Amleto Monticelli is your 2019 Senior Masters champion. Wow, what a performance here.
How about that, Amleto? 5 wins on the day. Beats our top seed, Stony Baker, 2 times. He's working the crowd right now. Stony Baker, congratulations on an awesome week. Highest finish on the PBA 50 Tour. And good momentum heading into the Senior US Open. Amleto, victory lap here. He's got the family, the Venezuelan flag. And his name will hang at the end of the lanes here at the Senior Masters twice. The 8th player in history to win this event 2 times. A Hall of Fame performance from the Hall of Famer.
He's going to have his low game of the day, but it was the most important win. One more to get to 237. I think he's going to give a good show for the fans here.
So the ball change at the end of game 1 goes on, runs the ladder. Another 9-strike performance for M. Leto. We'll get the trophy presentation coming up here in just a minute. Congratulations, Mr. Monticelli. Change our camera angles up a little bit here for the presentation. Aaron Smith going to go out there and ask some hard-hitting questions of our champion.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming out to Samstown on behalf of the 1,000 or so team members from Samstown. Thank you for coming out. A big thanks to Tom Pippinger, the bowling center manager, and his staff for a tremendous week. Mike Hoffman, thank you so much. And again, on behalf of the 1,000 or so team members here at Samstown, your 2019 Senior Masters champion, M. Leto Monticelli. Congratulations.
All right, at this time, I'm going to bring Aaron Smith out from the media department. He'll have a few questions for you. These questions will be way better than mine. All right, everybody, how about that? One more round of applause here. Starting right here, great performance from the coach here. And Leto, second time getting to hold that trophy, and both times you had to go through some adversity, win a few matches, and defeat a tough opponent twice for the title. What's it mean to claim this championship once again?
Well, it means a lot for many reasons. I think it's a year and a half having won the gold. Just signing the boundary and changing equipment, getting used to it. And then the whole week, I knew it's a long week. The big week for me was just to stay patient and play when I play the songs rock when they come.
Well, you certainly did that, and you talked about not only switching ball companies, but we saw you make a ball change here throughout the Stepladder. What did you see, and how did that ball change help you make it to the title?
Well, I was using the Ludacris, the radical Ludacris in the beginning, and then as the lane started running out, I knew that when I opened my angle, that ball wasn't going to work because I made a decision just to try the first frame. I believe it was against Norm, and I like what I did. I just stayed focused instead of thinking about the reaction, just make good shots, and then from there I went on. He got more confident with it. He does see her.
And it certainly looked good going down the lane. A whole bunch of strikes. He averaged, I don't know if you're keeping track, 246.8. Wow. Went up with a few folks. So just who's here with you? Who'd you get to celebrate with? And who would you like to thank?
Well, first of all, I thank Mike, the whole staff, Samstown, has been great, every year. The coach local there, Dallas, I mean, everyone has been great. And my wife is with me, Mariner.
All right, folks, that's going to do it here. Our 2019 champion becomes the 8th player to win multiple Senior Masters titles. And Leto Monticelli, congratulations once again.
All right, here comes the Venezuelan flag. The final photos here for M. Leto and his family. How about that? The 8th player in history to win the Senior Masters 2 times. His last title came in 2015. That year he beat Pete Weber twice for the victory this year. 2 wins in the championship match against Stony Baker. And drum all the way through. Congratulations to all of our finalists today. Tom Adcock finishing 5th. Gary Faulkner in 4th place. Norm Duke finishing 3rd. And of course our runner-up, Stony Baker. It was a fun week here at the Samstown Bowling Center in Las Vegas. 15 games of qualifying, top 64 in the double elimination bracket. Whittled that down to the top 5, and an awesome step ladder today. You can't ask for anything more. There's your champion, won last time, and little Monticelli of Venezuela, folks. We do appreciate all of you joining us here throughout the week on Bowl TV. Daniel Ferris and Aaron Smith did a great job during qualifying. Brand Houghton, excellent work back behind the scenes doing the maestro stuff at headquarters. And we'll get these final photos. We'll get a recap for you. Have that tonight on bowl.com. Check our official USBC social media channels for the highlights as well. Sport of Bowling USBC on Facebook, at USBC on Twitter. And for Aaron Smith, my name is Matt Canizaro. Thank you for joining us here for the finals of this year's USBC Senior Masters, folks. You know the drill. That is the news for now. We'll see you on the lanes.